Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, January 31st, 2019. All right, so today we still have the moon in deep Ophiuchus, as was the energy with Scorpio the past couple days essentially. So great time still for doing maybe a bit of healing today. Maybe that's physical healing, spiritual, psychological, anything on this level is great. But essentially just accepting all dimensions of self and all dimensions of life, which does lead to that healing and transformation. So themes around these deeper matters, and today we do have Saturn sextiling up to Neptune exact. So this is the beginning of a year-long transit, suggesting an opening for slow and steady steps towards any hopes and wishes we may have had this year or recently, maybe some dreams and ideals that we can be working towards, and there certainly is an opportunity to do that. So with this aspect as well, we do have the moon passing over Venus. Venus is going over the galactic center, so maybe some transformations regarding our values and relationships. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Thursday. Again, we are using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. For example, Ophiuchus is a constellation that isn't normally used, even though it does pass through the ecliptic, so by definition is a zodiac sign, but nonetheless not used in mainstream astrology. So if you are new, definitely check out the link down below for more information on true sidereal astrology. All right, so the theme of the day, finalizing what has been the deeper part of the sky in terms of where the moon has been. So finalization regarding this stuff. This could be an excellent day for essentially the healing side of things. Ophiuchus does represent the healer, which can be for ourselves, but even a great time for helping others heal as well. It's just a time where we could just be more aware of the deeper aspects of the human experience. And it's through redeeming these aspects as a part of ourself that helps us become more individuated, more actualized, more integrated and whole. Because these are usually the sides of ourself that you might call our inner shadow, that as we accept, we do integrate that with our true self, which is all of this. So great day for these types of things, maybe just noticing some themes around it. But great day for, again, diving deep, accepting, even good for things like research, uncovering hidden truths, just working with the deeper dimensions is great. So we are approaching the ending phase of the lunar cycle as we approach the next new moon. So also energy is dying down a bit, which is great to do a bit of a reset as we finalize what has been a very powerful month with the lunar month regarding this eclipse cycle that we've been in. Now the Sun and Mercury are still in Capricorn. Still great to be focused in terms of the long road, patient and disciplined perspective on things. That is the way we're viewing things collectively and can be our source of energy and life force at this time. So speaking of that, Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, is in harmonious aspect up to Neptune this year. And this is the first aspect of it here at the end of January. So now kicking things off with this one, it's not a major aspect, but it is just an opening. And the opening here can be to take some of these slow and steady steps towards maybe Neptunian things, which can be our dreams, it can be our hopes, our wishes, any ideals we've had recently, and just work towards it. And so this constructive flow is definitely available if there's anything like that regarding Neptune. Now, Neptune also does represent spirituality, so great year for grounding that as well, maybe through activities or things that require self-discipline, like meditation is a good example. And also creative as well. Great year for creativity when it's about putting in the work, right? Developing the skills perhaps, or again, doing things in a slow and steady way. And then fundamentally, Neptune is about bringing in more peace and tranquility into our life. So great time to maybe take some steps towards cultivating that. So again, Saturn is a long-term energy This stuff does take time, but there is now this opening of things maybe starting to shift and move forward in regards to these matters. All right, so very important aspect there. Again, year long, and just an opening here with it starting going into the weekend. All right, so along with this, the moon is going to be passing over Venus as they both pass over the end of Ophiuchus, which is the galactic center, the center of the galaxy. As planets do pass through this part of the sky, it's usually quite transformative. So with Venus involved, I think going into tomorrow, there is this sort of shift to our values. Great time today to maybe just do some clearing, maybe a bit of a reset when it comes to what we value. Surrender, practice non-attachment, right? These kinds of allowing to be released energies or ways of working with it. And then I would say not only with our values, but also relationship stuff as well. There's a shift happening here and this reset. And at the other side is, of course, the post-transformation, which is the new values, new relationship perspectives. And sometimes also Venus does represent our resources. So maybe something on that level for some of you. So with the moon activating it, I feel like, especially going into tomorrow, there is this sort of final transformation, this releasing. So anything that facilitates that process today can be great. And again, it's all part of finalizing what is Ophiuchus, which is, again, being aware of the deeper dimensions. And maybe with Venus, what has been Venus and Ophiuchus, being aware of our deeper values and what truly matters most. And again, also in relationships as well. So noticing that shift today, there's transformation slowly taking place as these two planets do finish Ophiuchus. All right, so that's the most important stuff today, but I do want to say that Mars is getting very close to a square up to Pluto. They're going to go exact Friday, Saturday into the weekend. And so this is a collectively bit of an intense energy. You know, arguably this is some of the most intense type of energies. You have Mars, which is that side of ourself that has needs, sometimes very deep needs, and Pluto, the planet of intensity, or what will fundamentally arise from this is more non-attachment. But of course, the process of getting there might be a bit of a clash with the ego. Collectively, we might be holding on really tightly to what we want, not feeling like our needs are met or expressed. And so there could be a bit of a blockage there. We might be, the instincts might be pushing us to, push forward through them. And so it is a great time to, empower ourselves through maybe facing some fears and doing some things that we otherwise wouldn't do because maybe, there were some inhibitions that now maybe we have some follow through to get it done or to express it or whatever it is. But very important with this to practice that awareness, self-awareness, awareness of the ego, awareness of the mind. And through that, it becomes very easy to practice non-attachment to the outcome and to what we want. And so great day. We may or may not feel this, but if you do, going into the later part, but especially tomorrow, practicing that self-awareness and non-attachment is a fantastic way of working with this. And then as a result, like I said, becomes very constructive, which makes it a great time for, taking action, asserting ourselves in a way that is intentful with self-awareness and constructive. All right, so I'll talk more about that tomorrow during the weekend forecast. All right, but today, most important thing, and it's one of the most important things this year, Saturn sextiling Neptune. This now shift regarding some future ideals, some hopes and dreams perhaps, taking the slow and steady steps towards this stuff, constructively, patiently, right, and with time. And this is really the focal point anyways with the Sun and Mercury in Capricorn, seeing the big picture, right, slow and steady steps. And with the moon in Ophiuchus, finishing up, going over the galactic center. Today, great day for healing, facing any fears, being aware of the deeper dimensions, and again, fundamentally accepting the deeper dimensions of life, which does facilitate this sort of transformation process, which going into the weekend will be the free-spirited energy of Sagittarius. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you again for watching. And I will see you all tomorrow for the weekend forecast. Take care.